Hello everyone and welcome to the 2017 Discraft Memorial Championships. I'm your host Terry Miller, the Disc Golf Guy, for a nightly recap, and I'm all alone tonight. I'll be all alone for quite some time. I don't necessarily have a co-host with me, but I'm going to have a number of guests stepping in, and we're glad we can do so. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I know we're going to have Valarie Jenkins join us here in a little while. We're also going to have Izac McDonald of Team Boom. He's going to join us, tell us about his first day here at the tournament, as we're already en route for our 2017 season. We're at Boulders on Southern, and I'm going to try to do my best to not only maintain a little bit of focus, but to let you guys know what's going on all over here. It's quite chaotic, actually. We're set up out on a patio. I hope everybody can see and hear everything correctly, but we're actually out on a patio, and there's discs being sold. There's a putting competition taking place. Lots of people are consuming some food and beverage, and we're glad to be doing so. So I'm going to do my best to take a look at what's going on the message board. I see that you guys are here and present. Thank you so much. Brett Comincioli, Luke, how you doing? Jordan Castro, hope all is well. Death of Empathy, I see you chime in all the time. We appreciate it. And Jarrett Bass is also out there, along with Jarrett Bass is also out there. So again, please go share the link. Let everyone know. We're going to be here for an undisclosed amount of time. We'll see how things go. But yeah, very excited. So Bobby Swain says that I interrupted him. He was watching the Smashbox first round coverage of the Memorial. Well, sorry, we're bringing you more disc golf action. So, Matt Espinoza, how you doing? Beats Up Sync, how you doing? Good to see you guys. Please go share the link, let everyone know what's going on. Oh, whoa, hey. There's apparently a four-time champion. You'd be very careful. And welcome to the show here.
Hold on.
We've got a few things to do. Well, okay, there's that too.
Don't spill it on your computer, though.
All right, let's get you mic'd up first and foremost. I'll let you do that. If you could just attach it. And coming into the show, of course, is our four-time women's world champion, Valarie Jenkins. Discraft is in the house now. Val, for starters, I think we have some business to do here. Go ahead and throw on the headphones too.
Are people talking to us on here?
They're talking. They're coming in, and yeah, is that a little loud? You got it?
No, yeah.
All right,
it's
now you
louder,
can hear me.
like I'm right next to you, but it's louder.
All right. I think you have a word or two for this besides cheers. Anything fancier?
Skol Kazan.
Okay, we'll go with that. Oh, that tastes like Circle's Edge.
Yeah, that's where you want to be, right on the
Circle's
edge.
Edge. All
so
right.
You can still jump punch.
Well, of course. Not with too many of them.
Yeah. On here at the Players Party. We don't hit them up too much, but now that we're like kind of back in the scene, it's tournament, and yeah, so it's really fun to be here.
Well, so often, I mean, you guys take your disc golf very seriously. I haven't seen you out at too many of the late night establishments. You usually are playing pretty early as well. So to come out to this atmosphere, there's a putting competition going on. I think $500 for first place. There's Circle's Edge, beer is being sold. There's Silly Pints, Disc Golf Pro Tour, Bevel Craft Brewery. Like, there's a lot of different things going on. And I'm going to double check that our stream is good.
I see it.
Hopefully, it says that it's struggling. Are you guys still there?
Can you hear me now?
Stream still good. It says that it's struggling. We're going to see what it says here.
I think Nate's trying to stream it over here.
Well, if he's doing that, he's killing our stream. Okay, it seems like apparently it says it wasn't maintaining. All right, everyone's back here. Thank you guys. Our stream health. We're doing the best we can. We'd like to thank the PDGA for helping us tonight with our broadcast efforts. And I think we should be good to go. If it's not, we'll come back. All right. So we were saying there's a lot going on here tonight. Specifically, let's talk about Circle's Edge, the brew, the collaboration brew that you guys did, and what people are experiencing here.
Well, I think I'm I know from the outside, Nate knows more of the technical terms, but yeah, we came down here 3 weeks ago. We came down to Chandler, Arizona, where the Perch Pub and Brewery is located, and yeah, we had an opportunity to brew this collaboration beer to release, and today is the first day that it's been tapped. Anybody has been able to drink it. You know, for us, we just drank. Well, I drank it after my round. Nate had to still play and everything. But yeah, it's an IPA. It's a hazier IPA. It actually has oats in it, a different malt. But it's definitely that bitter West Coast style IPA, and I think it turned out really well. The guys at the brewery, they're disc golfers. They're very excited about having this collaboration happen, and I think it's really fun for them to be part of this scene right now. The Memorial is a huge tournament for amateurs and professional players, people traveling from all over and coming to Arizona and trying this, a beer that's collaborated with disc golfers. They're just living the high life right now.
Well, let's adjust your microphone, move it over just a little bit so that we can hear you even better. There you go.
Hello.
So, first question, Stray Duck wants to know, what's the percentage? 100% good?
I think it's 6. Good one. It's 6.5, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So I better watch it. If I have.
Yeah, if you're used to drinking Milwaukee's best. I think that's like 4%. Okay. I don't know. But it is, it's a solid beer. It's heavier on the body, so yeah, you can take your time drinking it. It tastes and smells better when you let it warm up. That's just craft beer in general.
Okay. So for those who maybe are in the area or taking it in and they don't know the exact schedule, tonight, obviously, still get down here right now. We're at Boulders on Southern. We're just 2 minutes from the Fiesta Lakes course, so that gives you a reference point. But they're going to be able to drink it in a few other places this week yet. Where else can they drink it and what nights?
Well, we have a schedule. We just posted it on Instagram, Facebook at Bevelcraft Brewing, so you can find the schedule there. So tonight's the release party. Tomorrow it'll be at McFate South, which is a brewery that's very close to Vista del Camino.
Yep.
It's on Scottsdale Road. And then on Friday night, it'll actually be a party at the Perch Brewery, which is a super cool establishment. It's this crazy compound, all these different levels. We'll be on the rooftop at the brewery. It'll be shut down just for golfers. It'll be happy hour prices because it's actually an exotic bird sanctuary as well.
Oh.
So there's like these huge macaw, parrots. There's this huge bird, blue, like completely blue, like yellow around its eyes. All these little different small exotic birds. It's a really unique place. So I think that'll be really fun if we can get some players to come out there. And that, again, that's in Chandler. And then on Saturday, that'll be the main day. It's the finals of the Memorial, and our beer will be served at the Euro Pizza Cafe, which is, you've been there.
It's delish.
You said the calzones were good.
The calzones are phenomenal. Yes, they are.
Yeah, it'll be served there. It was actually on tap today, so if anybody's out there playing Fountain this week, you can go and grab a pint. But it'll be there for the finals, the beer garden. Whenever you grab your calzone, you grab a Circle's Edge.
Okay, so tomorrow night, McFate.
Exactly.
Friday night, Perch, which is down in Chandler, so it's a little bit south of here. And then Saturday at the Euro Cafe in Fountain Hills, where, of course, the event's going to be wrapping up. So those are all places. Immediately, people want to know, well, where can I get it? How can I buy it? And I know that's a question that comes up, so let's address it here.
You gotta be here.
You gotta be here.
You gotta be here to taste it. We're actually selling, so this is the first collaboration of 2017 for us. But right now, I think we have about 5 collaborations lined up throughout the year. So as we said, we're cutting back on disc golf tournaments. These collaborations keep happening, and the experience that we get from these, we cannot turn away from it. You know, as our future moves more toward opening our own brewery, you know, we need to take these opportunities. So it's the start of it, and so the next stop is a secret.
Yes, for now.
And then we'll be at the Glass Blown Open. You'll be able to taste the beer there. They're going to bottle it. Rocky Mountain Women's. We're going to have a beer out there. Back in Vermont.
Oh, somebody made a putt.
Something good happened.
Back in Vermont again, where you guys have worked with the Green Mountain Championships.
Exactly. They can the beer. So it all depends on the brewery if they're going to package the product, whether cans or bottles or, you know, what capacity. But in entirety, you need to be at the event to make sure you can get a pint of it. Like I said, this is as fresh as it gets. They literally just kegged that this morning and distributed it out to all these bars throughout the Phoenix area.
All right, it tastes fresh. I think we're going to have Nate on the show a little later. He's going to reveal a pretty significant secret that I think it'd be appropriate to say that you, him, and I have been brewing up. I don't know, it's okay. So one of the cool things that is happening here, and we're seeing people walk by in front of us, is that when you're doing these collaboration brews, there's a very limited run of discs that are commemorating that brew. And you guys are just producing 50 discs that have both Bevel and whomever you're collaborating with. And there might only be a handful left right now. I'm looking at the table of them.
No, there's a crowd over there.
I've got mine reserved, but very few are left, and that's something that you guys are doing for each of the stops. Again, you need to get here and to take it all in. Sorry, Scott, that you're 30 hours away, but you definitely need to get here to take it in. So, switching into discs, made a huge announcement. I'm not going to lie, I didn't fall off my chair with surprise, but you made a huge announcement that you were, in fact, now a sponsored player of Team Discraft.
Yep, exactly.
Share what that means to you and what that means for women's disc golf.
That's a loaded question, but so this has been in the works for, I would say, probably just about 3 weeks. It's been about a month. And literally the first time I got to try and throw these discs was in Arizona. So this is like my second time throwing them. But from the start, working with Discraft, working with Bob Julio, they've been so open to my ideas. You know, they saw the announcement. They were right there with everybody. And I think Bob was the first person to actually contact us. You know, he immediately wrote to Nate and said, you know, whenever Val wants to come up, we keep explaining to people. I mean, anything that Nate and I ever really discussed, or, you know, we never like schemed up a plan. I needed to announce that I was leaving Innova, and I needed to announce it in that way, and that was the topic. That's all I wanted the attention on, because, you know, and I keep saying this over and over, but you know, I never want the women in my footsteps to go through the same, you know, struggles to fight for equality on a team. So from there, you know, Bob was completely open to, you know, what I had been talking about, you know, wanting to know how he can change the team dynamic and cater to my needs, help out the other women on the team, and that was the number one priority for me. And so from right then, you know, we just started with the bonuses, and I just reason after reason I explained to him, and you know, I think it really opened his eyes, and it's just, women need more help at this point. There's lower number of women playing. We're already getting slashed with our payouts. You know, we need that extra help from these disc sponsors to keep myself on the road, and you know, the women that are aspiring to be at the elite level of the women disc golfers. So those disc sponsors are everything to those players, and that's what keeps us on the road. And so from there, I mean, we've been coming up with all sorts of great ideas working with Discraft, and yeah, I've been completely happy, and it's been very interesting switching over my entire bag to literally discs that I've never thrown before. And people are very shocked by that, but
they are. I was going to say, a lot of people are like, well, it should be a super easy transition. I mean, her husband throws Discraft. He's been throwing Discraft forever. It's not like you guys would randomly be like, oh, hey, I'm going to throw your disc today, or swap back and forth. There'd be no reason for you to have done that in the past.
No way.
So do you feel like he was able to point you in the direction that he felt like some discs would immediately kind of match up for what you were looking for, though?
No, not really.
Okay.
Nate,
he has a very different game than you as well.
Exactly. And if you guys saw Nate's in the bag, it's probably been the same disc for, I don't know, 10 years or something. So it's fresh in the bag, but probably the same disc that were still in there. It was very interesting. Bob literally sent every model of disc that Discraft makes in every plastic, and we're sitting in Oregon, and Nate opens the box, like a kid in a candy shop, and he's going through each disc, and he's handing me the disc, and how's this feel? How's this feel? And that's what we went off, to narrow it down to basically half of the disc. And it was just so funny. I'm like, yeah, that feels great, but I have no idea how it throws. It could be super stable or whatever. So I just went by feel, narrowed it down to half, and then when we came down 3 weeks ago to brew the beer, that's the first chance that I ever got to throw any of the discs. I said in the Ulti World article I'd thrown an MRV.
Yep.
So, that was years and years and years ago. But when we came down to Arizona 3 weeks ago, we got in a field, and immediately I just started throwing one after another. And I hadn't thrown in, I don't know, a couple months. Oregon just completely covered with snow. Then narrowed it down to what discs I liked, wrote my name on them, put them in my bag, and then from there I started building on that. And so I'm still working out what I'm really throwing and what I'm confident in throwing, but I'm really liking a lot of the discs.
Okay, well, at some point maybe I'd love to get a very long form into script in the bag, but for everyone out there watching now, what are you throwing, and what can they expect to see from you?
My main distance disc that I'm throwing right now is the Z Thrasher.
Okay.
And I also have a big Z Thrasher. It's a huge distance disc, and it's very reliable in the wind too. And that's what I've kind of been struggling with. I've never thrown distance drivers.
Sure.
I like throwing if my disc was a Starfire,
yep.
And I just went out and went left. And so I was really confident in how it was going to fly. So distance discs can be fluky. So I wanted to rely on that distance disc, handle the wind, especially out of tournaments like this. So that's a Thrasher. I'm throwing a lot of heat in all different plastic types. So that's a more understable disc, which Nate had no idea about any of those, because Nate throws a Predator and
a Force.
He cranks those things over like they're like a heat. So he didn't really have any feedback on that. So I'm working with those. I got a Buzz in my bag. Well, I have a couple, but the one I like right now is the ESP Buzz, which is perfectly straight. I have a Nate Doss titanium Buzz. That's
cute.
More stable. I know, I'm still working with it, but
do you have to like the Buzz? I mean, the Nate Doss Buzz?
I know. I felt so bad when I was throwing it, because I was this ESP Buzz just went so straight, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry, Nate, that's not going to be my number one, but I'm going to put it in my bag. But a Nate Doss disc that I'm actually throwing is the Surge.
Okay.
Yeah, and
it's a great disc.
So it's a Nate Doss two-time Surge signature series. Yeah, it's great. He's got a whole stack of them. I'm getting worked up here. But that disc is perfect in my bag, and Avenger SS. And for me, I'm learning all the lingo, all the different plastic types.
Certainly.
I'm literally pulling them out and looking at the flight number and okay, yes, I know that goes straight. I know that's stable.
See, there you go, people.
So new.
Flight numbers matter. Val will tell you right now. I see Cool Daddy Slick Breeze off in the distance, and I know they have a discussion about flight numbers, and even in our game show a few weeks ago, taking place on Smashbox, our battle box, that was one of the games was for Madison Walker, and along with Brian Schweberberger, we would ask them flight numbers of discs, or give them flight numbers and ask them what disc it was. And they didn't do so well, because a lot of professionals, they get to what they like and then they throw it, and they're not concerned about a flight number. But when you're learning, and have a different starting point like you are. And, okay, well that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, but like throwing, like having the 4 different flight numbers, I never knew. I never knew what they stood for, and I mean, I was in that era before the flight numbers ever existed, so you just went on through and understood what the disc did based on how you threw, and I think, that's another conversation in itself, but yeah, the flight numbers do help. I don't know how they come up with them, but...
PFN, pre-flight number, that's when you're from. That's the lingo, PFN. You're a PFN.
Hashtag
PFN or something. So I saw a picture the other day during your announcement. It looked like you were holding up a Challenger. Is that in fact what you've been putted with? Or are
not
putting
that specific one, but yeah, I have actually 2 of Nate's backup putters. So he had like a stack of putters for years, trying to work them in as he went. So yeah, I have 2. I think they're
D Challengers, probably.
Yeah, it's just a blade, like a big discraft stamp on them.
Okay.
But I know he's putting with the rubber blend now.
Okay.
So I got a stack of those, I'm sure, ready. And then I have a Challenger for upshots. So
okay.
yeah, I'm liking the Challenger.
It's good that you have some connections outside of your own efforts. You have additional connections to dig into.
It was funny today when I'm out playing Fountain Hills, and Fountain Hills you need as many backups as you can get.
Yes.
Specifically with putters too, because there's a lot of like upshots that are really close to the water, and I pulled out our like disc box in our van. And now it's funny because it's all discraft, and I'm like, hey, Nate,
I can just pull whatever I want.
What is this? Can I borrow this?
Whoa! Sounds like I'll drink to that. I'll drink to that.
Cheers.
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 Something good happened.
Some big putting, I'm sure.
But, yeah, so I just grabbed one of Nate's discs, threw my name on it. I'm like, this might be gone, but it might be a backup forever. So
whatever.
Thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That makes things, that simplifies life just a little bit.
Totally.
Yeah. So let's talk about your golf today. You were out there. You said you haven't been practicing a ton. You haven't been playing much. You guys have been so busy in the off season, and then being buried under snow. It's in fact your brother Avery, who many years ago always talked about not throwing in cold weather because I remember reading whether it was an article or maybe a written blog or something about getting all bundled up to get your muscles and your body to work in a slightly different way that you're not used to because you're not used to being bundled up. And for him specifically, it just wasn't something that interested him in an off season or playing in cold weather. You guys you just take the winter off for the most part, and you do other recreational and let your body heal. What was that like as you were trying to learn the new disc, but then transition into the beginning of the year? I mean, that was a lot of things going on.
Yeah, and especially going out to that field and trying to throw like 30 different types of discs and not having thrown in forever. Yeah, that next day I was incredibly sore. But yeah, I mean, I think just our minds and our bodies need that rest. We're on tour, and it's not just the playing; it's the travel, and it's tiring. We're in this van traveling. We travel 16 hours to get here in our van, so that takes a toll on your body. And then mentally, just trying to figure out what you're doing each week, and you need that break. So we do like to step away, and just coming here 3 weeks ago, that was a lifesaver. I mean, otherwise we probably wouldn't have much time to ever practice. This year specifically, in bed normally it melts and goes away, and we do have time to go train in a field and not get our bodies in shape. And our arms. Disc golf is a whole body thing, but we've been cross country skiing a lot this year, so that's like a full body workout.
Nice.
So that's getting us into shape, but nothing is like that throw.
No.
I mean, totally like extending your arm in that way, that follow through. You have to play disc golf to get back into disc golf shape.
Well, now as we wrap up the Memorial, obviously in a couple days, but you guys aren't going right back on tour. A lot of our players are playing here, and then the next weekend, and the next weekend, and so on and so forth. Waco is in 2 weeks, the next Disc Golf Pro Tour stop. 2 weeks after that, the Nick Hyde. I think you've already stated you guys those aren't on your radar.
Right.
You guys are still kind of just easing into the year. Is that the plan? And you're just busy with all this other brewery stuff?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, we didn't even plan on coming here, and I think I announced when we were coming to the memorial.
Yep.
Like I had just learned that day that everything had fallen in line, and it worked out with our friend at Sierra Nevada that
Yep.
works here helped us out with this collaboration, and then Keith Murray helped us get in the tournament. So a lot of things fell into line really quickly that we didn't necessarily plan. And so, yeah, moving in the season, we don't really have anything planned past Worlds.
Okay.
We're going to go to the Beaver State. We're going to go to Masters Cup. Of course, I got to be back at Worlds.
Sure.
Yeah.
You got a
'Cause
title
now
to defend.
I got Elaine on my team, so now she's always going to hold that against me, that she's got 5 and I got 4.
Well, let's clear things up right now. I was challenged by Elaine when I got to the Gentlemen's Club Challenge just a week ago, and she said, "Darn you, Terry, you guys for not remembering and calling me out as being the highest rated woman on Team Discraft." And she wasn't trying to say that in a bragging way. She was saying that she was calling me out for not recalling that her and her amazing accomplishments and all her feats. In no way was I trying to disrespect five time.
Yeah.
5-time Elaine, 5 times world champion Elaine. But now, yeah, you guys are teammates. You guys have been good friends for a lot of years as well, which is awesome.
Yeah. Growing up in Ohio, even when I didn't play, we were going up to Canada. My parents were playing tournaments, staying at Elaine and Eric's house, and so they've seen me as a little kid, not wanting anything to do with disc golf, whatever my parents are doing, whatever. Yeah, so they've known me forever, and it's fun. Yeah, I mean, Elaine, I understand, and I can picture Elaine just giving you trash about,
yes.
You didn't recognize me. Like that's just Elaine. She's got like the greatest sense of humor, and so it's gonna be a fun and interesting year. And I know she's actually retiring from her job, so she'll be out playing more tournaments. She already plays a ton. But,
with her move from Canada down to the southeast over to North Carolina, South Carolina area,
Raleigh.
we're seeing her playing a lot more. We used to see her at a lot of the biggest events, and then it's kind of sprinkled around.
Yeah.
And now I feel like we're seeing her just about every weekend. So she'll be out there competing and challenging, and she's on the lead card in the Open Women's Division. She was on the lead card just last weekend at the Gentlemen's Club, proving she's got all the skill still, which is awesome to see. So for everyone out there, we are not at a frat party, although it probably sounds a lot like one in the background, and maybe some beverages of sorts. We are here
no keg stands or anything.
Not yet.
Not that I see.
We'll make sure to get them on. That'll be on a different feed. But we're here at Boulders on Southern. We're also here for the release of the Circle's Edge IPA by Bevel Beer, which was a collaboration with Perch. Is it Perch Brewery?
Yep.
Perch Brewery from down in Chandler, Arizona. If you want to partake, you must get down either to Boulders tonight, McFate's tomorrow night. Friday night we're at the Perch Brewery, and on Saturday over at the Euro Cafe, which is located in Fountain Hills, Arizona. So that's where we're at and what's going on. So I try to keep things. I try to keep it all together here. So let's talk a little bit about the golf. It seems like golf is almost secondary these days because you just have a lot of really good things going on. But let's talk a little bit about the golf that's out there today. You teed off very early.
Yeah.
Very early.
Exactly. And we were just talking about like cold weather. We're teeing off basically when the sun was rising, so it was probably like 40 degrees. And so, I mean, you can be warm, like your body can be warm, you can have as many layers as you want, but it all comes down to your hands. And like, I mean, that's the first thing that's going to get cold, your hands and feet. And when you're trying to throw discs, that's just So that's like a reason I don't play in the winter. But it was cold this morning. And it really, that was like my first tournament round playing with all Discraft, and I felt so confident. And I think just like the pre-season, like the beginning of the season, nerves and like just unsure and like not knowing. I don't know. I think it all just like trickled in at the first few holes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, what you said.
The first hole was fine. I missed a putt, but whatever, 4 is fine. And the second hole is where I had the most trouble. I got an 8, and I just trying to get my throws. I just kept yanking them over, but it wasn't. I was able to recover from that, and
unlike this guy who's ever trying to recover. Okay, so go on. You said you were able to recover from a bad hole
right,
2,
right.
early in the round, but
I
still
didn't lose a disc. I was shanking to the right, so I'm not shanking in the water, so that's a good thing. And I mean, from there, it was just understanding my putting, and then I've been playing for so long. Everything just takes a little bit to get back to used to I need to just keep my arm raised as I putt, and just certain little techniques that I normally use to get through tournaments.
Yeah.
So those are all coming back. It is like riding a bike when you haven't played disc golf in a while.
Unless you're Jeremy Colin, but never mind. Go on.
But it does take some time to get back into that competition mode where you're actually thinking and trying to dissect each shot, and it's way different than just playing casually.
Well,
so it was a good warm-up round, and I don't feel too bad about how it turned out.
Well, and one thing that struck me from what you just said is you used the word nerves. Here you are, a 4-time world champion and one of the most decorated people to ever play the game, but you get nervous when you're at a big event and you're starting off a new year. And to me, that tells me that you're still very competitive and excited about the game itself. And now that you've been around for so long and you're only 30-ish, 21 again. But now that you've been around so long, you still have that fire, that drive, that determination to be out here and playing. Is there any event, whether it's this one or any other one in the year, where you feel like you'll be any more nervous than any other time?
Probably Worlds. I mean, that's always the biggest one. But any other tournament, not really. See ya. It all depends. I mean, I think.
Whoa! I saw that coming. Hey-o!
Help!
She's bringing down the house, folks.
Was that Miles?
I don't know, but somebody was messing with the backdrop, and then they so thankfully messed with it enough just to screw it up.
Think of how many people we have immediately help. I'll just sit back and drink a beer.
Amazing. Here, cheers. They'll have to figure it out again. Cheers.
Thank you, team.
We
have the biggest crew here tonight that is helping us.
All of our Smash is extending. Jeremy Rusko from DD, Nate Dawes, Chad from camera. We've got so many great people making things happen. So
We'd like to thank everybody for making this production happen tonight.
Hey, we still haven't screwed up as bad as the Oscars, so we're good. We are so good. Let's drink that beer.
Or Miss America.
Or the Steve Harvey moment, yes. I was thinking today, I told that, I don't know who I was talking to, was that Johnny V or someone else? I said, I still don't think I've ever had a gaffe as bad as Steve Harvey. And knock on wood.
That was pretty funny.
That was funny, but that wasn't me at least. We knew there was a chance. But
that looks good.
I think if Rusko could just hold it for the next few hours.
Stand there.
What a sweetheart, Jeremy Rusko. Everybody's on board. It doesn't look like it's even, but we may not. It's very much. I don't think I've had enough circles edge yet to make that backdrop straight.
We'll just leave.
All right. Well, nonetheless, we super appreciate the assistance here.
It looks great to me.
Yeah, it's crooked, but it'll work. And speaking to that, I want to again thank Chad, who is out there on camera today. It's only his second event with us. He's certainly hustling around out there for us, doing a great job. I'd like to thank Rick, who slept in the airport last night because he was supposed to come in yesterday. His plane tried to come into Chicago. It circled around, I think he said 4 times. He's looking at the map. Circled around Chicago. They wouldn't let him land. So then they brought him to Louisville. They landed there, I think, or they were about to, and they said, let's go try Chicago again. They went there, circled around, came back, because they still wouldn't let them land due to the bad weather.
Like a 20-hour flight?
Yeah, and then he went back to Louisville, and then he slept in the airport, and then got put on, thankfully, on a plane to get here this morning still.
Wow.
So, Rick, you're the man. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. Chad, Johnny V back at controls for the day, and as well as Gary to the O, helping with doing some show switching. None of those guys are Chad and Gary are. I'm sorry, Johnny and Gary
Gaff
aren't
coming
here
soon.
now. Exactly. Woo! All right, simmer down. Anyways, thank you to all of you guys, and thanks to the people helping tonight. All right.
Perfect.
Woo!
I have a question for you, Terry.
Oh gosh.
That I'm sure people are wondering.
Yes, I put on sunscreen still. Okay.
Yeah, you look better today.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Okay.
the Vegas sun.
Yeah.
Are you covering the women this weekend?
You know, that's a great question.
I'm not on the lead card, but are you covering the other ladies?
So today we did something that's never been done before.
Right.
And I apologize if I misspeak here, but I don't think so. I believe it was Corey from Central Coast went out and covered the women's card this morning, and Steve Dodge jumped in on some editing and put together a majority, I think is a good way to put it, the majority of your shots that were on that card, and then we spliced them into the men's footage so that people would be getting men's and women's footage throughout. I'm honestly.
Who doesn't want their good shot shown? You don't want to cut
That's
everything
even better,
else
right?
out. Yeah.
But no, what I'll say is that was something that we've never attempted before. It was Steve Dodge's vision. I'm not sure exactly what his vision is for the rest of the week. I don't know if it's going to be similar or if we're switching it up. Fair or not, I just do what I'm told. I would love to cover the women. I know we did the last 2 years, I believe, while we were here. I'm not sure how it's going to unfold. Is my official answer non-answer? I don't know.
All right. Yeah.
I would like
my
to.
My answer is always to people who are like, oh, we want to see more women's coverage. I go, just write to Terry Miller, write to Steve Dodge, and tell him you want to see more women's coverage.
And that's absolutely a fair request. And so, thank you to Corey at Central Coast. I know Central Coast busted their butts last weekend. They were out there giving you FPO women's lead card coverage as well as the men's card coverage, men's leader card. So those guys were out there killing it. And I'm not sure if this is the format that's going to continue to unfold, but if it does, I guarantee you it'll just continue to get better and better and better every time we do it. So we'll see.
Yes.
Good question.
Yeah, I know.
Steve Dodge.
I know Steve, in talking to him previously in this week, I think he said that the Disc Golf Pro Tour covered one round of the women last year, and I mean, we all know that needs to get better. So I know there's a lot of people out there that are watching and want to see more things like that. And I know you're a complete advocate of that, and you would do it in a heartbeat. If we had staff like we do tonight.
Yeah, exactly. If we had this many on crew all the time.
Get Jeremy Rusko a camera.
Christy Moore, I believe, Christy M, I'm assuming that's Christy Moore out of Ohio, runner-up at the Emeralds this year, said I liked it. It was definitely a step in the right direction, and broadcast quality was even better than last week. To be fair, we knew it would be better than last week. We had a lot of challenges last week, and we were super excited to reopen today and to prove that we can do what we did today. So thank you for that. And then also another comment says, I thought the split coverage was great. So we're interested to hear more feedback. Again, we're only going to be able to improve on it, and we'll work with Steve to figure out how we're going to do it. Westside Maple says it was the best live coverage yet. So we appreciate it. Again, thank you to everyone that made it happen today. I just walk around and babble, but
we know.
You know that.
Yeah, right.
I mean, come on. We did get footage of Kat doing a push-up in the water today. Okay, and honestly, I didn't even see it. That was being cut together as we were on the course. So we were live. Steve was back using my computer to edit together clips to then upload, which Johnny V was pulling down from Milwaukee out of the cloud to then insert into the coverage. And he was chiming into my ear saying, yep, we have hole 7. Let's cut to the women's, as we walk down the fairway of 7, let's cut to the women playing hole 7. Like, it was...
So it's almost way more complicated than just a live show.
Oh, yeah. There's no doubt. There's
video sent to Steve, sent to
edit,
Johnny.
render, upload, download. Yes, it was much more than most people. And
well, I'm glad it turned out.
Well, yeah, thank you guys.
People
and we're going to keep at it. Bobby says it was off the charts, so thank you. Here's a interesting fact for all of the smashies out there that watched last week. The same exact microphone, the wireless microphone that opened the show for the first 3 to 5 holes last week, was the exact same microphone that I used for all 18 holes today. Just like then, it had brand new batteries. Today, we put in brand new batteries. Literally the exact same microphone on the exact same camera, same channel, same everything, flawless for 18 holes. Last week at GCC, it was complete garbage for 5 holes till we just gave up. So it just, my point is, sometimes just technology doesn't want to play nice. And last weekend, at least when we opened, that was one of those times. So, all right. Question from Cool One, who's an avid Smashy out there and a fan, says, Terry, does Val play better with cameras, or does it add pressure or nerves? Do you feel like the cameras affect you at all?
I thought it was just like right now. I play better. Yeah, I don't care. I think,
it's second nature now because you've seen them so often.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think it's almost like more, like if you see like just a few people watching, you know that they're watching you. But if you see like a widespread, like a crowd.
Harley Davidson. There's a rumble. I believe that's that.
But if you see like a crowd of people, you're not like singling anybody out. So, yeah, I mean a camera, depending on how many people are watching, the camera could stand out, but yeah, I'm pretty used to that now.
Okay. One of the things to kind of drive that point home, last weekend having one of our newest cameramen, Chad, join us, he's also just kind of getting comfortable around the green, around the catch of where to be and what to do. He's an avid disc golfer. He knows what he's doing. He's great with a camera, but there's still a comfort level, but because he hasn't necessarily filmed a lot of live disc golf. And he even made a mention. And he's
looking through like a tiny,
exactly.
Like eyes.
And he said that today. He's like, it's really kind of interesting to see where all of our players are and where they're comfortable with all of us media and cameramen.
Right.
And I've said before, I would hope to think that at least a number of us, especially the regulars out there, have earned a certain level of trust. You know that we're not going to be doing anything intentionally, of course, to distract a player or to make any movements or motions, audible or otherwise, or visual. But it was an interesting observation by a relatively new cameraman. He's like, some of those cameras were, really close to the players today, and we said, of course we're trying to be respectful, but still at a comfortable level. So
right,
it's pretty cool to see.
It's got to be hard. I know that like in previous coverages, they've tried to bring in people that don't understand the sport, and that is so hard because our sport is so we're peripheral. Like you're seeing everything. You're looking up. Your eyes are up. If the basket's high, you're looking even higher. But it's really hard. Everything is distracting in disc golf, and especially these courses here. There's paths that go through the courses, so there's a lot going on. But yeah, a cameraman as long as they don't move in the middle of your motion or your middle of your throw or putt, that's fine. It's up to the player to tell that cameraman to move. Anything distracting is up to that player. You need to say something before you throw. You don't go and blame the cameraman after, or anybody in general after. It's up to you to make yourself feel comfortable, and you've got that time, as per the PDGA rule book.
Yep.
If something's distracting you can take your time, let them move, let it, whatever. So.
Yeah, and I know I talk about it a lot while we're during a broadcast, but it's a good just overall PSA for everybody. If you're ever in line with Val or anyone, if you're ever in someone's line or vision or line of sight at all, the best thing you can do is stop and stand perfectly still. When you move 2 feet, what happens most of the time, you either run away quickly or stand perfectly still, because what happens sometimes is you'll see someone standing there, and then they'll think, oh, I'm in their line, and they'll move back like a foot or two, and then they'll shuffle a couple, and they'll keep slowly shuffling. That's way worse than anything else. In fact, it was the Memorial.
Are they going to move again?
Yeah,
Are they going to
exactly.
Like another step?
It was just the Memorial last year. I recall there was a gentleman watching the footage. I was behind hole 5 at Fountain, and he was directly behind the basket, and I think it was Paul Macbeth putting, and this guy just kept moving and moving and moving, like the entire time. I'm like, just sit still for 1 second. And it didn't distract Paul in that case, but stand perfectly still. You can be directly in line even with a player but as long as you're standing perfectly still, usually they're fine with it. And if they're not, they should politely ask you to move. So,
and if you're watching live coverage, you can move as much as you want.
There you go. Get up and have yourself circles. Well, you have to be here for that. So again, Matt Whalen, you might be joining us late. We're going to let you know if they're going to bring an IPA to the GBO, there's going to be a collaboration brew with Radius that's taking place there. You must be at the GBO, which is,
so it's
that's a given. But it's not, okay.
It's not an IPA.
Okay.
But
You're getting outside your comfort zone,
we
or
are
no?
there. We're changing our term to hop centric. We love hops. We love the bittering aspect of hops. We love the aroma that hops give. We love everything about hops. So that's kind of what we want to bring into all these collaborations. And so like working with these different breweries. There's guys from Sierra Nevada right now. Leave it. Working with these different breweries, we want to work with what they're comfortable working with. We want to create the best beer possible, and so Nate really works with them on, what beer do you guys envision? What do you like making? And then we're putting our hop twist on it. So we are brewing a hoppy saison, is what we're calling it. And
what does that mean?
So saison is a farmhouse ale, and it's slightly more funky. It's a little more Belgian-y. It's got those banana-like characteristics. A blue moon, Terry,
Okay,
blue moon.
I'm familiar. Okay.
So oh no!
Just kidding. All right, that one might have been wind-aided.
I saved your life.
Yes, you did. I was trying to make a post for more people to come listen to you on Disc Golf for Women on Facebook.
Whoever
and all of a sudden it goes down again. All right.
Twice.
All right. So now we have. We know what we need to do in the future, which is actually attach it to something.
What are these attached to? Kites? They're like that. I'm like those balloons.
All right, what a crew. Rick moves from camera to stage manager. Amazing people and support here for sure.
So yeah, we're brewing a hoppy saison. It's a farmhouse beer. It's got the banana-y characteristics, but we're putting we're dumping a bunch of dry hops. Okay. You'll learn all this maybe in a couple weeks or so, maybe. And so it's good. It's very aromatic. It's not your bitter beer. It's maybe a little bit more accessible, maybe a sweeter beer. So yeah, they're gonna have it on tap. They're gonna have it in kegs at Radius, and then they're gonna actually bottle some of it. So it's like that collector's beer that you can bring home. But hops are very, it's vegetal. It's they go bad, so you need to drink them as fresh as possible, and that's the best thing about it. But so that's going to be a different thing for us, not doing an IPA and doing a saison, which we've actually we brewed a test batch in Oregon, and then the guys at Radius, JJ, brewed a test batch in Emporia, and so it's been pretty fun. You're using an entirely different yeast strain to create all these different flavors. So that's different from us. So we're learning so much in all these collaborations that we're doing. It's
true that you and Nate ideally would love to have a collaboration brew in all 50 states when it's said and done. Is there any kind of timeline? Do you want to do that by next year, or 5 years, or 50 years, or is that just like a lifelong goal, or?
It depends on how long it takes. I mean, it is a lot to brew these collaboration beers because we want to work them all into, we're coming back and releasing the beer during a tournament. Hopefully, a big tournament that's, big for that state or that city or whatever. So it takes a lot for us to do the planning to be available 3 weeks before every event. 3 weeks is almost like the minimum time, especially for an IPA to be ready. And this is like, literally today they were able to keg it, and this is like the perfect timing. But that means we're going to these places twice within a month span. So it does cost a lot of money. So we're right now I think we're at 5 collaboration beers for this year, but we might add on more. We don't know. And it's exciting. You know, I hope that is a lifelong thing, so it can kind of stretch it a little bit longer.
You're not in a hurry.
But yeah, no, not yet. I think we have Vermont, Maine. I think we'll get like 6 states so far.
I'll drink to that.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
Nice.
What else should we expect from you guys the rest of the week? I mean, is it hard to stay focused on golf with so much excitement here and the various collaboration releases each night? I mean, you guys are here, you're serious, you're competitors, you've got the new sponsorship. But is everything kind of bonus right now or gravy, or this is still go time? It's rare to, again, it's 9:30 at night. I'm not used to seeing you guys out this late when you got to golf in the morning.
I think we have like a half hour left in us. But you know, the thing about craft beer, it's like you want to take your time, you want to savor it. You know, you're not pounding a bunch of beers, and I think that's why it really fits with the disc golf culture. You know, you're enjoying what you're doing, and so yeah, like in general, we're going out. You know, if we weren't here, we'd be at a craft brewery. You know, wherever we were in the world, we'd go visit the local brewery. But yeah, I don't know. It's fun to be in this type of atmosphere and enjoying everything that's going on. And it's actually funny, like, to see Nate come back after a round, because you know it's a barometer, like what how the round went.
Sure.
I'm like, generally how he acts, but he's normally a positive person, all the time. But like today, he just came in and like, I mean, how can you be down when you have like so many things going on right now? And yeah, excitement around this beer release, and the guys that we brewed with are super fun, and yeah, this tournament's great. So yeah, we're very happy to be here. We're happy to be playing. We're going to be as competitive as ever. We're going to want to win. But this makes everything much more enjoyable.
All right. Well, I was going to go to UDisc Live. As we know, we rely on them so much throughout the entire broadcast. A huge supporter and sponsor and collaborator.
Are they covering the putting competition?
No,
because I don't know what's going on. There's so much going on.
We need them
over
here.
there.
Matt, Josh, we need you here. We need you for everything. But as I go out there, we're taking a look at the scores. We'll talk about the men's scores a little later once we let you go. But on the women's side, we saw we can look at hole-by-hole scoring again, thanks to UDisc. Paige Pierce ultimately came in with a 53, a 3 down today. Sarah Hokum with a +2, Katrina Allen +3, Zoe Van Dyke and Vanessa Van Dyken +4s. You're right there with a +5, tied with Lisa Ficus, Jessica Weiss, and Madison Walker.
And I played with Lisa and Madison today. So
Okay.
Our rounds are completely different, you can see on UDisc, but yeah, then we added them up at the end, we're like, seriously? Like, how did that happen that we all shot a 61?
Well, and it's crazy because, again, looking at UDisc, we talked about your out-of-season snowman.
Oh, there you go.
But
Oregon snowman.
By hole 4, your struggles were pretty much over, and then from there you maintained very well. And after hole 4, at that point you shot even the rest of the way, throughout the round.
Right.
So it was really
Pars are good.
2 or 3 bad holes, and then the rest of the way you maintained and played very good golf. So
yeah, that's how I like to play. I don't want to have anything too roller coaster-y, especially out there.
Tomorrow, where do you guys play?
Siesta Lakes.
Just down the road from here.
Like barely down the road. It's like a Thrasher throw away.
A Thrasher? How you went there. I love it. Or someone who's trashed may just roll there from here tonight. But
Thrasher.
anyway. So tomorrow over there. Course setup, design. We're on a golf course, but it's relatively short. I mean, the distances are relatively the same.
Yeah.
It's not a huge bomber course by any means.
Right.
Anything you're going to change in a game plan or outlook tomorrow that when you're attacking that course?
It is different because when we came here 3 weeks ago to play, we actually played Fountain Hills, Fiesta, and Vista. And we played Fountain first. We actually played it in this exact same layout. So we played Fountain first, and it's a lot of hyzers, a lot of big shots. And then when I came out to Fiesta, it's more technical. I needed a lot more like my turnover discs. I needed understable discs. And it's all about placement. Like you said, it's a shorter golf course, but you do need to find your placement shots because there's those greens that are out of bounds. There's a lot of out of bounds out there. There is water out of bounds. They got everything. So,
a little bit, yeah. They got shorter holes, they got longer holes. I mean, there's everything.
The in-between holes.
Yes,
Yeah.
the in-between holes.
Yeah, it's definitely a different game out there compared to Fountain and Vista.
Okay.
Yeah, so it'll be exciting. I think that is where the women's rounds will shake up.
Okay. Well, we're looking forward to it. Mex Beast. Unfortunately, I don't know. We need some updates. Like Val just mentioned, we need UDisc here for the putting information. UDisc had helped us when we did the Ledgestone skins. When you guys were out there for that. Do you remember that last year?
That's funny because that popped up when you were typing UDisc.
Because when I put together the last Ledgestone, when I put together that round, I had to go out to UDisc and there was all the stats, all the information. 6 months later, it was awesome. So thank you, UDisc. You guys are awesome.
Ledgestone, the registration opened.
Yes,
today.
did it today?
Yeah.
Wow. So Ledgestone, someone asked on there earlier if you were going and if they could be your caddy.
Oh, thanks.
But sign up. Did you sign up yet?
No, I don't know. Like I said, we don't have anything planned past Worlds right now, so we'll see how it goes. I mean, that's a great tournament. Huge, the payout's huge. So, pro disc golfers, we need that sort of thing. We need more tournaments like that.
Yeah, if we just had Ledgestone every weekend, you guys would be set.
I know. But yeah,
Nate Heinold, make everybody else do what you do and raise and Discraft. Just give away hundreds of thousands of dollars all the time.
Yeah.
You'd like that.
Yeah.
Marty from the PDGA out there saying that everybody should be quiet over there because we have a 4-time world champ. I know. They don't listen.
Thank you, Marty.
They just don't listen.
Don't understand.
They don't understand what's going on. All right, Val.
Where is Marty? Marty
he's not here this week.
He would be enjoying this beer. I know that we've shared many of our test batches with Marty. It was like 3 years ago in the pouring rain, and I remember Marty, of course, out there doing live scoring, marking our day. He was just like running around like a madman. He came up to our van, like soaking wet dog, and goes, "Do you guys have any of your tests, any of your beers left?" And of course, we're gonna help out the people that helped us golf. And Marty, I wish you were here enjoying the Circle's Edge. I know you'd like it.
I'll have an extra 1 or 5 for you this week, Marty. So you're welcome. Dion, we'd love to see you at Ledgestone. All right. So, almost as if alcohol makes people louder. Maybe you should put quiet hops into the beer.
Yeah, we'll work on it. No, that's fun. Being loud's fun.
Being loud is fun. Do you have anything else you'd like to say to everyone before we cut you loose here tonight? I know you get tucked into bed here soon. You got a big week yet ahead.
I know. Are you gonna talk to my husband?
I'm gonna talk to your husband at. We'll talk to him next, and then after that, we're gonna talk to Izac McDonald, our world champ from last year. I told him we'd love to talk to him and catch up with him a little bit. But I think we'd like to talk to Nate. I think Nate has something special he wants to share with the world.
Yeah, I think he'll fill you guys in. So I think I'm good. I mean, I'm sure I'll be back on here again.
I'm sure you will be.
You'll see me again soon.
All right. Well, thank you, of course, for joining us. We wish you the best of luck the rest of the week, not just with your golf and your play, but also with all the exciting things going on with Bevel and the collaboration you guys are doing.
Thank you.
I'm
glad you're enjoying it. I'll be back. I'm going to go back and backstage and I'll hold this thing down.
That would be great if you could just stand there. We'd appreciate that. All right. Awesome. Thank you, Val.
Thank
all right.
You.
Have a good night.
See ya.
Don't forget your mic. I don't want to, I don't want you to go flying away with it.
And take all this down with me.
I've done that. That's why I say it. All right, we'll see if Nate can join us, and we'll have him in just for a few minutes. Yeah, we're going to have Nate, and then we're going to talk to Izac. We're going to talk to him right after your big announcement. We're getting video bombed back here. Careful of that ledge right there. Everybody trips on that 2 years in a row. Where can you get a Bevel shirt? It probably will. You can just attach that to your Bevel shirt there. Nice plug.
Yes.
Where could people get a Bevel shirt? For the longest time, they could only get one by participating in the GoFundMe campaign.
Yep, and we actually had a specific logo for that. Check. How's my audio?
Awesome.
Is it good?
Good. Yep. Good.
So we did a specific logo for the I Helped Bevelcraft Brewing Take Flight.
Correct.
So it was a circular logo. You have one.
I have one. Was I the first on GoFundMe?
You were the second, actually, and the only reason that we'll call you the first. But now we have these awesome shirts. You can actually go to bevelbeer.com/shop. We have a shop. You can go and get a shirt. And really at this point, T, it's everything that comes in is just to help our dream come true. So
and get cool looking shirts.
And they are cool looking shirts. And I mean, we love them. So
you as you should. Thanks to Miles over at Paragon. Miles supports Smashbox TV. Miles supports Bevel Brewery. Miles is great over at Paragon Disc Golf.
Definitely.
All right, so we've left everyone in suspense. Val may have almost let it out of the bag. She gave a good hint out there. But something that I've been working on in order to sway you guys to visit the great state of Wisconsin. Tell everybody what's happening, when it's happening, and who it's happening with.
So, because of Mr. Disc Golf Guy, Terry Miller, and really I got to hand it to you, T. You did really work. You worked very hard on this. Val and I are coming to Wisconsin on April 8th. And 9th. We're going to be there for both days.
Yep.
For the Skyline Open.
Skyline Classic.
Classic in
Fox River Park, Kenosha County area.
Southern Wisconsin.
Southeastern Wisconsin,
yep. And we're going to be doing a collaboration beer for that tournament.
What? A collaboration beer? What an idea.
Drop that bomb. So we did it. We're going to do a collaboration brew with the Milwaukee brewery, actually, Explorium Brew Pub.
Okay.
These guys are sort of brand new. They just opened up, I think, in 2016. These guys are awesome. They're making great beer, and they support disc golf, and we're going to do a collaboration beer with them. We're actually brewing that in a few weeks.
Next week, like a week from today.
Today's Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
Wednesday or Thursday.
Somewhere in that
somewhere in there, yeah. We're going to be out in Milwaukee brewing the beer, and then 3 weeks later, Val and I will be there to release the beer. We're going to have a really awesome party. I think on the 6th.
Yeah, so we're looking
April.
at Thursday, and we've got a lot of people, of course, from Wisconsin and Illinois that tune in to what we have going on. But yes, on Thursday, the 6th of April, is when we're going to have an official release. We're going to have
at Explorium's Brew Pub.
Exactly.
In Glendale,
it's exactly Glendale, which is a Milwaukee suburb.
Gotcha.
And essentially, if anyone knows anything about the area, it's Southridge Mall is where it is. So
and I got to tell you, if you are anywhere in the area, we are doing a session IPA actually for this beer.
Okay. Yep.
It's a little bit of a tweaked version of the Understable, which is what we did out in Vermont a couple of years ago. And it'll have a different name, it'll have a different flair, but it's a session IPA. It's going to be a great beer. And again, it's all about supporting disc golf and bringing disc golf and craft beer together and just really connecting those two communities and helping to promote disc golf in a lot of different ways. So
yeah, and so
I got to thank you for having us.
No problem.
And Explorium. I know the boys we're all excited about it, so we're really looking forward to it.
And we'd like to also, right here on the show, thank Discraft, as you are now officially going to be the presenting sponsor once you give us a ton of stuff. You don't know it yet, but I'm announcing it here on the podcast. No, we would like to work with Discraft, of course, the affiliation that you two have with Discraft, and Discraft supports so many different events. We'd love to spread a little love around, and it'd be great to have Discraft on board, and we're just looking forward to a really good weekend. So on Thursday the 6th, that's when the beer will be released. That's when we'll invite everyone right to the brewery.
We're going to have putting games. We're going to be there, and then the tournament's 2 days later, and I think we're going to have the beer available at the tournament as well. Yes. We'll see how that all works out. But yeah, it's really exciting. Honestly, I have a goal. I set a goal years ago. I wanted to play disc golf in all 50 states. I haven't quite done that yet. I got one left. We
talked to Val about that. Yep.
And I have a lofty goal of collaborating in all 50 states.
Yes.
Bevel Craft Brewing will be a Oregon brewery. Our beer will, for the most part, stay in Oregon. But collaborating is a part of what we really are. Disc golf has been a collaboration in sorts for our entire careers, working with people, staying with new people, and for us to be able to do this in our sort of next phase of our life is really a pleasure. And to come to Wisconsin, which we hope to come to many, many times for the first time doing your tournaments. Awesome.
So yes, it's been very exciting. We kind of all the deals were officially inked in the last 7 or so days, but it's really exciting, and it's tough for me. I got a big mouth to keep secrets, but we wanted to talk about it here this week, that you guys will be in Wisconsin for the Skyline Classic. I told everybody to get signed up. There's a discount on registration from the registration fee that will end tonight, so make sure that you've taken advantage of it. Dozens of people have. We want to make sure this sells out, and we want as many people there as possible, and they'll have a chance to maybe compete against two of the best in the world and drink some beer.
Absolutely, and I'm looking at some of the comments. Dion said no team tourney in Bend that weekend. You know, honestly, our life has been a complete whirlwind over the last few months. Setting up collaborations. I honestly, I don't know when anything is, really. And, you know, there is an event, it sounds like, in Bend that weekend, and unfortunately we won't be there. But really, craft beer is our future, and anytime we can collaborate and partner our beer with and us with disc golf, it's a dream come true right now.
It's a no-brainer.
We'll miss them. And I know they'll have a great tournament in our 5 minutes from our house, but it's just something we got to do.
Well, again, it's a no-brainer for you guys to do that, and it's just the evolution of your career, and then your long-term career and goals and passions and everything else that are in addition to and outside of disc golf. So we're seeing this transition take place, and it makes perfect sense. So.
Yeah, it's a dream of mine to never leave the sport of disc golf, and I think the one way I can do that is by honestly starting my own business and utilizing that business to support the sport and just be a part of it for the rest of my days. So
all right.
Yeah.
Well, we're excited. We want everyone in Wisconsin, Illinois, Michigan, Indiana, everyone in that area. Hopefully with Val coming, we can talk about increasing some of the women's field.
Right.
And
absolutely.
Work on some things there. But Thursday night, it will be in Glendale, Wisconsin, which is on the south side, not far from Johnny V's house. I wouldn't recommend crashing the Smashbox headquarters, but
maybe
on the south part of Milwaukee. The beer will be available on that Thursday night. We'll make a big spectacle of it. We want to get as many people there as possible. Marty, you're only like 4 hours from there when you're in Indianapolis, so we expect you to come up as well for the weekend.
Yeah, Gregoire's got to come up.
Yeah, there's so many different good things going on there. So we'll just gloss over the golf real quick, and then we'll talk with Izac.
Let's bring in Izac.
But for you, for the golf today, you went out there, you shot 5 under. Any big takeaways, positive or negative from that?
Oh, everything was super positive. Honestly, I made one mistake. I threw a great disc in the water, took a 5, which would have been my only bogey for the day. But honestly, it was a great day. It really was. We've had a really rough winter up in Bend, and me and Val have been working super hard on trying to get the brewery open. So we just haven't had much time to play disc golf. Fortunately, we were here 3 weeks ago, got to play all the courses, got to get some throws in, but I'm just looking at the card right now. It looks like 6 birdies and 1 bogey. That's a great first round of the season.
Sure.
And the Memorial, it's a very difficult tournament to win. It's a difficult tournament to be a factor in. I've been a factor in it many years. And I'm really just looking forward to each round, building on what we've done previously, or what I've done previously, and just try to get better. And hopefully throw a hole-in-one there on Saturday. You better be there for that, too. But
yeah,
no, honestly, it was a good day. The weather was absolutely perfect. The crowds were out, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the week.
Yeah, we've got great weather forecasted for the weekend. Everything from our end went really smooth, and anytime we can have the technology and the weather and all of those things clicking, I think it just makes for an awesome event. Disc Golf Pro Tour, the Memorial, to many, it feels like we're really just kicking off the season.
Yeah, and honestly, I got to congratulate, Dano and Keith. I've known these guys for a long time, and it's amazing to see the level of talent that shows up here. And the Memorial is the Memorial. It's unique on its own, and it really is great to see all of the young talent. I mean, you're going to bring up Izac here in a few minutes, and He's a great kid. I got to play with him today. I got to play with him actually 2 years ago. I'm sure he was 15 or something. Played with him out in Illinois, and it's just really cool to see all the young players. I look at Izac and I see myself, and it's a half a life later. And
you're getting old, buddy.
Yeah, but it's just our sport is in great hands. I love that I'm still here playing, and I still really am insanely passionate about being a competitive disc golfer and trying to. My goal this year is to still win the world championship, and that's something that I'm insanely focused on. And as much time as I can spend to reach that goal, I'm going to do it. But to look around, see Simon Lizotte back, see Eagle out there, Paul and Saki Bomb doing their thing. It's just, it makes me smile, and I'm super excited about it.
Wow, there's great golf. Attitudes by people like yourself, your amazing wife, and we wish you guys the best of success, not just on the course but off. So
yeah, Val has made this off season really exciting for everybody.
She has.
And I gotta say it, just because she's my best friend. She's done a great job, and it's been really a rough road, but it's really a pleasure to see how she's dealt with it. Every one of them is heartfelt, and it takes time, but really the community of disc golf and I think it's just a thing for everybody in the future. So
it is, and kudos again to Discraft for everything that they're doing with this event, but also for recognizing what Val's concerns were and saying, hey, we want to make the change. We want to make game. He's a student here in life. He's a student of craft beer. We know that. I got a little lesson myself here. I'm gonna have to take another.
Did you like it,
T? Yeah.
Good.
Did I like it? Come on. I'd like about 6 more. No.
Well, let's bring the young man in. Let's get Izac in here.
Let's get Izac McDonald in here.
He's, you know what? I got to say this before Izac comes on. It was really cool actually today because Izac had a few bad holes and he threw some OBs, but he came back and he birdied the next hole and he made the next putt. And it just, again, it reminds me of that youthful brain that I used to have when I didn't have any of this history.
Any hops? Oh no.
No, well, I didn't have any of this history. I mean, I've been playing Fountain Hills for 15 years. Yeah. I know every cranny, I know every win that's coming, and when it's like, he doesn't. And it's...
All right, let's see if we can make this work here. Go ahead, throw these in to screw things up. We'll see.
That's Rick's.
Hold on.
Yeah, let's do it right now.
Positive comments coming in here. We're gonna see if we can get everything going again. You're breaking the internet, kid.
Always happens. Always happens.
All right, I think we're about to see everything come back and smooth now. Thank you, everyone. Okay, so of course, welcoming our 2016 Amateur World Champion, Izac McDonald, aka IMAC. Nate Doss says he sees a little bit of a younger version of him in you. That's a pretty big compliment.
That honestly is a big compliment, and actually makes me want to play 3 times harder just to be like him.
Yeah, Nate has obviously experienced a ton of success being the 3-time world champion, but he started really young. Well, I played against Nate Doss in a mini competition and when he was like 10 years old in 1990, yesteryear, 98. Nate Doss, what keeps you motivated and excited? You're in the Midwest. Nate always kind of grew up playing in California, around a lot of great players, but played year-round. You're not as much of a winter golfer, are you? And
yes, I am.
Are you doing other sports, or what are you doing?
I used to play football, baseball, I wrestled, and I played disc golf.
Okay.
So I was always active. I always did stuff. Most of the time, I never had time to play during the summertime,
Sure.
because I was baseball, football, I was, and so the wintertime was the only time I really got to practice.
Okay.
So I did it anyways, it's just fun to do.
Yeah. Well, in the Midwest, we talked about it earlier, in the Midwest, you got to make do with what you got, and then sometimes that means if your only spare time comes during that season, then you make up for it. What has it been like transitioning, moving from the winning the AM Worlds, wrapping up last year, and then now here on this big stage at the Memorial? What's that like for you?
Very exciting and nerve-wracking, definitely. You're having all these people watch you, and you're the world champ. Everyone's going to be talking about you. It's kind of fun to see and hear.
Do you get nervous? I asked this of Val. Do you get nervous, whether it's cameras or crowds or galleries? Do you get nervous still? And
Yes.
and how long what does it take to settle those nerves? Maybe that's the better question.
Probably if we're playing a round of disc golf and there's cameras and people watching, it takes a couple holes.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
I finally get used to it, and then it's just,
Then it's back to golf.
yeah.
So today, speaking of nerves, stepping up to hole 1 is, I have to say, it has to be one of the most nerve-wracking holes in disc golf, period.
Yes.
You're opening this PDGA tier, you're opening the Pro Tour, you're opening the Memorial, and you're throwing 350 feet plus to clear water and try to get it to this tiny little green. Walk us through that. I mean, that's how I envision it, but what was going through your head this morning?
well, first of all, what was going through my head is the card I was playing with is like,
Describe them. Who'd you have on there?
I had Kel LaVisca, Paul Uliberry, and Nate Doss. I've played with Nate Doss before in a tournament round in 2015 Ledgestone, and it was fun. We had a great time. I talked to him. It was a good round. He played pretty good too, so it was fun to watch. And Paul Uliberry is the person who really got me into playing disc golf.
Okay.
And Kel LaVisca, I just know because he's one of my all-time good buddies. He always looked up, he always taught me what to do and was always there telling me, good job, you got this play, you got this next shot, keep your head up.
And he's from the Midwest, so
Yeah.
you've known him, you've seen him. Obviously, Kale, easily one of the single best players in the Midwest. So if there's someone to emulate or to look up to, Kale LaVisca, super mild-mannered, great temper, great all-around golfer, and
Very smooth.
not far from where you live. So
Yes.
yeah, he's always a good guy to look up to. So when you're out there competing against these guys, at any point today, did you kind of take that in and think, gosh, who am I here with, and what am I doing?
Yes. Matter of fact, hole 11, I was really getting down because I've had a couple of rough holes and I couldn't really get on track or anything. I couldn't get any birdies. And then I just looked at who I was playing with, and it was Nate Doss, Paul Uliberry, the people who I watch on YouTube and look up to. I'm playing with them. It was crazy.
Okay. Well, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna look at some of your scores from today. We're gonna see if we can scroll down. We're gonna look at your score. We talked to Val. Hole 2 is one of the 2 par 4s out here. It looked like like Val, you struggled on hole 2, but then
Yes.
from there, you played some pretty solid golf from there on out.
Yes.
You had a 7 on hole 2, but then after that, there's a lot of birdies there. You're sitting at a 53, which is 3 down on the round. It looks like you're tied with, it looks like 2 dozen or maybe 4. You're tied with 300 people. No, I'm just kidding. But there's a huge tie there.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah,
There's a 20-person tie for
Yes.
65th. And then at 45th, there's a 20-person tie. So literally 1 or 2 strokes better, and you're sitting in 30th place.
Yeah, and
Okay. So what is your mentality going into tomorrow or the next day, knowing that things are going to be really tight?
Honestly, I'm not gonna say I'm not too worried, but I'm not as worried as I was today because I already got a round in,
Yep.
Let's just go play disc golf like I'm supposed to play disc golf now.
Okay, so just go do what you're here to do now. You got the first day in, so now we're heading over to Fiesta Lakes tomorrow. What do you think about the course?
Honestly, Fiesta Lakes, one of the top 10 of my courses that I have.
Okay.
It's very challenging to me as a player. That's just going from my opinion.
Okay.
Some of those shots are tricky enough for me to hit, so that's why I like it, because it gives me a challenge. And more Fountain Hills is more of a self-explanatory course.
Sure.
And so
Straightforward.
is Vista.
Okay.
The Fiesta Lakes is going to be where I can get my jump and
Do you feel like you have any particular score in mind when you're going out there
when I
tomorrow?
go there-
We've seen some hot scores in the years past. Do you,
Yes.
do you care about any particular score?
I count everything in when I play disc golf as a 53,
Okay.
and I base my
Explain that real quick.
Oh,
before you go
54,
forward.
I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Okay. No. I thought
Whoa.
you had some philosophical,
No.
like super. Okay. No. That's perfectly fine. No, you're a little young to be drinking Circle's Edge here, so okay, perfectly fine. You count everything as a 54. Makes
Yeah.
sense. Go on.
I want to shoot. I want to shoot within the 40s, like
Okay.
48. I want to be within 48 and 46. That's
Okay.
my goal.
Okay. Fair enough.
And I think it's possible with that course, honestly, because if you watch Macbeth, he kind of plays with that course like it's nothing.
Sure. Do you at all care or concern yourself? You just mentioned a Paul Macbeth, and I'll throw out a Simon Lizotte who birdied almost every hole on that course a few years ago. Do you care at all about what some of the other people, what you think they can shoot? When you say, oh well, I know Macbeth could shoot a 17 under. Does that impact you at all in terms of how you think about the course for yourself?
Honestly, no, because it's what my dad's always told me since I started. It's not who you're playing against, you're playing the course. If you beat the course, you're going to be within range to win or do what you need to do.
Okay, fair enough. What's it like being here at the Memorial, the excitement, the A tier, the Pro Tour kicking off? What's this like for you? Is this everything you want out of a professional career?
Honestly, yes. This is what I've dreamed about when I was like 6, 7, just starting the sport. And, I was like, oh, I could be like MLB, like kind of like that in disc golf. And my dreams are coming true.
Okay, so you envision this is much. So how old are you now, and what can we expect to see from you in this 2017 season?
I'm 16, and I'm gonna try to get in the top 10 of every tournament or any disc golf pro tour or world tour or whatever I decide to get in.
Okay.
That's what I want to finish. But this tournament, I just want to be in top 10 because it's the very first one. Just want to get my name up there and everybody to see me. And the next time we play is when I'll be ready for everybody else.
All right. Now, you've had some great support. Of course, you were sponsored going into Worlds last year. You have a sponsor after Worlds. I know that Josh from over at Boom is a big supporter of yours.
Yes,
he said
he
he had
is.
to pick you up from the airport the other day and was helping show you around.
Yes.
Talk about some of the help and the sponsorship and the family support and everything else that keeps you going. I mean, you're 16, so you're not quite living large on the road on your own yet.
Yeah.
But talk about some of the support you get.
Honestly, Josh Barnhill, the owner of Boom, he's done a lot of things for me, and I respect that from him. So, in favor, I'm going to do a lot of things that I need to do on the course and off the course to keep his company.
Okay.
And the two people I really have to thank is my mom and my dad. They work 40 hours plus a week just to help me travel. And I have a brother and a sister they're both 17. And that's kind of hard having 3 teenagers living like that. And they do a lot of work for me, for my sister, for my brother. So it's kind of hard for them to get here in places like this. When I first got here Sunday night, my parents were not going to come.
Sure.
And then my dad was like, you know what? It's Arizona. He booked a plane and came out here. And another guy named Nick Austin, he has taught me everything. Not everything my dad has taught me that,
Sure.
but he's been there right next to me throughout my whole life, supporting me, and he really pushes me like I'm supposed to be pushed.
Okay. No, that makes perfect sense. Again, when you move into the next couple of years, obviously you're going to continue to take your pro career as far as you can. But what do you envision? Let's fast forward 2 or 3 or 5 years. What do you see yourself doing?
I see myself trying to like get up where Macbeth and Nate Sexton and get a name around like that. So
Okay.
everybody knows me, and I want to win the pro world. That's what I'm shooting as hard as I can to go get that.
Now, Nate Doss just told me a few minutes ago he's trying to win Pro Worlds this year. So is there going to be a clash at some point? I don't know. You're the only two that have told me that so far this year. So I'm picking you two 1-2 at Worlds.
Yes. It would be really fun to battle with Nate Doss.
Yeah.
Watching that dude throw a frisbee is amazing. He's so smooth, and the frisbee just like parked every single time. It's kind of hard to beat.
What do you learn when you're watching some of our seasoned players? You look at like a Nate Doss, who has what almost everyone will say one of the best demeanors on the course. He's so calm. He's so collected. You don't know if he's shooting 10 over or 10 under.
Yes.
He's rarely shooting 10 over, but
Yeah.
you don't know what score he's shooting.
Yeah.
But yet he always has this demeanor. He's always so composed. Can you take something from that?
Honestly, yes, because the reason why he's so composed is because he knows the shots he's throwing, and he knows they're the best decision. So no matter what he does, he's confident with his shot, and so that's what makes him happy, and keeps his mind right. You know, it's all about trusting the shot, and Nate Doss really trusts his shot. He's been playing for
Longer than you've been alive.
longer than I've been alive. Probably even doubled that. But
It's been longer than you've been alive for sure. He certainly has been. Is there ever any, whether it's serious or joking rivalries that take place? You and Anthony Barella. You guys went, first, second in 2015, and then 2016 you came back. You won Am Worlds. You guys are obviously about the same age, but is there any fun or serious rivalries there?
well, off the
Are you
course,
guys the next Ricky Paul?
I hope on everything, because I know he's going to be practicing, and that just makes me want to practice even more. Me and AB, we're really close friends outside of this golf course, but once we step on it, we like barely talk to each other when we're practicing because we're just rivals,
Okay.
So it's always, every single tournament I've been at with AB, it's me and him battling. Back and forth,
Yep.
trying to shave strokes off of him, because every once in a while, he'll miss one, and I'll be like, oh, let me get this, I have to make this putt, and he does the same thing with me, so it's going to be fun.
All right. Well, some people have called Anthony Barella, like when he was shorter at least, a mini Macbeth, and you got a hat flipped up like Wysocki. So this might be a true battle that we may see unfold in the next few years. Anything else you'd like to share with the disc golf community, the world out there? Are we going to see you at the bigger events, or are we going to see you also, I'll say, slumming it in the Midwest? Are we going to see you in Wisconsin, Illinois? What's kind of your travel plans this year?
Well, I'm going to try to get to as many NTs as I can this year.
Okay.
Depending on what I can do and what I can't do at school and stuff like that. But I'll try to mostly be at the big tournaments, and if I have off time and stuff when I'm not going, I'm going to play the local tournaments around Illinois, Michigan, Wisconsin, all around there.
All right.
So-
Well, awesome. Final parting shot. Share it with the world. Anything else you got for us?
I would like to thank my sponsors, Boom, Upper Park. They just picked me up, and I would like to thank Fly Life, and that's it. And Innova. Don't forget Innova. Innova's the bigger.
Unless you knew something I didn't, I wasn't gonna say anything. But I thought you were sponsored by Innova.
I'm sorry. I didn't forget about it.
It's just assumed.
You just gotta save the best for last.
There you go. All right. Well, this is Izac McDonald, otherwise known as IMAC, out here competing this weekend, coming off of his Am Worlds win, of course, in 2016. Looking to make a big splash. He's trying to be that Ricky Paul rivalry here, whether it's this year or next year or whenever. Getting his name out there, playing well, and we wish you the best of luck, buddy.
Thank you, Terry.
All right. Thank you. Have a good night. We're
Thank
gonna let
you.
you go. Let me grab this so that you don't run off with our.
Definitely.
There we go. All right. Have a good night. Thank you so much.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Terry.
Again, Izac McDonald. What I'd like to do is go ahead and open it up to the floor. Let anyone have, if anyone has any other questions they want to come at me with. I see the putting competition is still taking place. I still don't know any details. I don't know if somebody wants to figure them out for me. I see people. I see lots of people. Lots of people are yelling. All right. So if you have any questions, I certainly, not we, I encourage you, please go ahead, put them in the live chat board here that's taking place on YouTube. I'd also like to make another announcement that I could have said earlier, but I didn't want to distract you. Something else Smashbox has attempted here for the first time ever tonight. Johnny V was able to take the round that happened today and did what we're calling a smash cut. And what that means is he took the full round, 3-4 hours, I didn't even look at what it was, but he's taken the entire round and he's literally just cut out the pieces that weren't golf. So you will see, you're going to hear probably some goofy audio. You're going to hear me talking about something and then next second later it'll be gone. That's because he's paid no attention whatsoever to any of those things. He's just looking for the golf and he put it together. You can find it out, of course, on Smashbox TV. And I want to say that it is out there. I was going to go take a look and see if there's any other details that I just wanted to let everyone know that it existed. It was out actually an hour ago, a little over an hour ago. So if you want the raw smash cut, it is there and available. I'm going to take a look. Our regular round came in at about 3 hours and 11 minutes. 3 hours and 11 minutes today. And this round, edited together, comes in at 40 minutes and 29 seconds. So there's not the big backup on hole 8. We'll save you from that. And you don't have to worry about anything else. It's just the men's round, just the play, with a few other details sprinkled in. But it's essentially a smashed up, smash cut version of the round. So that's available if you want to go watch it right now. You can find that, of course, on Smashbox TV. So let us know your thoughts. Let us know your feedback. It's never been done before. We don't know if we'll continue to do it. The majority of the effort falls, of course, on Johnny V in terms of being able to do that. But if you like it and you want to see more of it, it's something that we might be able to continue. So as Luke Turnbull says, yes, it is cut down from 40 minutes instead of 4 hours. It's only 3 hours and 11 minutes, but yes, cut down for sure. Over under on how many DOS collab IPAs Terry will down this week? That's a great question for those that that don't know already. I'm actually not a hardcore beer drinker. I don't partake all too often, but sometimes there's special scenarios where I feel obligated. I wonder if I just bring a glass like this over at Nate and Val, who are eating in a distance. Maybe they'll get a hint. Maybe I haven't caught their eye just yet. Oh, they're sharing a calzone. And I'll wave it. It's all gone? I don't got time for that. What do you mean it's all gone? Fine, get me a Zima. Take a Zima with a little a splash of 7-Up, cherry 7-Up in that with Zima. I'm good. No, I'm good. All right. Getting back to the questions here. Manganese said something about, he or she said we killed it. Thank you very much. Says he killed it with the live coverage. Some exciting disc golf. So much talent in the tournament. There certainly is. What time is tomorrow's lead card? I believe it's still scheduled for about 2 p.m. Mountain Time. So look for that. Funky Town DG says, I want a smash cut series. That may happen. Terry, are you ever going to come back to the Hambrick? Maybe. That's a good question. It was, in fact, my first time there this year. It was a really good time. It was great seeing that course finally, the history, everything that was part of that event. So thank you so much for that. If it works into the schedule, and I'll be brutally honest, if it works into the schedule and there's budget, I would like to be back. So that's what I can tell you there. He downed 7 tonight. No, I did not down 7 beverages tonight. Not yet. They still make Zima. Yes, they don't. I was just kidding. As for Tequiza, Royal Crown. See you at the Skyline Classic. Just signed up. Evan, thank you for signing up. Evan in Wisconsin. Again, if you missed the news somehow, Nate Doss, Valarie Jenkins coming to Wisconsin. They're going to brew a collaboration beer with Explorium Brewery in Greendale, Wisconsin. And then it's going to be released and part of an entire weekend celebration for the Skyline Classic, a PDGA beer I'm running on April 8th and 9th. All professionals and all advanced divisions play on Saturday the 8th. All other divisions play on Sunday the 9th. Please get signed up immediately. And like I said, Discraft's they're gonna have to sponsor it. I'm just telling them now. Sweet Leaf, glad you liked the professional coverage. Thank you so much. Who will take it out? Top 3 picks. Go out to Fantasy Disc Golf or skipace.com and you'll see thousands of people, literally thousands of people have picked where they think players are going to finish. It's all out there. Nate Fisher says, thanks for the feedback and love all you do for the community. You're welcome, Nate. I appreciate it. Again, I want to be very clear. The collaborative effort that took place today includes Rick Hushane, Chad Inman, Gary to the O, Johnny V, myself, and the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Thank you guys for the live action today. Marty Gregoire says, does the announcement of the new PDGA Executive Director means he is no longer the interim director? Yes. I think we have a guy 1,000 times more qualified. Marty, in the interim, you did great for those 2 days or weeks that you were there. But as many of you heard last night, we announced on the show and we saw the release, the new news, that Joe Chargoloff, I believe the name is our new PDGA Executive Director. We're looking forward to talking with him more and getting some details about his vision and his leadership that we're going to see moving forward for the foreseeable future from the PDGA Executive Director. Scott Williams said Skyline isn't a classic, it's a chili. I'm going to argue with you, Scott Williams. Well, I'm not going to argue that it's a chili. It is Skyline Chili. I know I could get blasted for this at some point. Dave Wastebloom of Night Eyes told me about Skyline Chili. We've experienced chili together. I went there when I visited for the Brent Hambrick, and I left thoroughly disappointed. I hate to say it, but I'm just, as Bobby Brown would say, just keeping it real. Not so much on the Skyline Chili. John Cinco says, will you have live wrap-up shows every day? That is a possibility. I'm actually thinking about reaching out. We've got a couple people that have talked about wanting to support what we're doing because this is becoming quite an effort. There may be an opportunity to be a live wrap-up show sponsor, and I will probably actually post that tonight. So if you're interested, I'm going to say that Bevel Beer is tonight because of all the stuff they did. But for the next 2 or 3 nights, I'm interested in having a live wrap-up show sponsor. You'll see a similar format to what we had tonight. Bring in a guest or two, talk a little bit of golf, and all of that fun stuff, and me babbling at you, just as I know you love. Skyline is garbage, bro, says Marty Greg. Wow, okay, it's an Ohio thing. I'm not going to go any further. Christy Moore says, I'm from Ohio, still gross. So, okay, sounds like my opinion wasn't completely unfounded or exactly unique in that I didn't care for it. I'll just say I left disappointed. Would the disc golf tour ever go to Mexico? If there's a good enough course, I would see no reason why it wouldn't go to Mexico. If there's a good enough course, or course is, it absolutely could go to Mexico. There's no doubt about that. Let me confirm if there's anything else we need. I thank you guys again so much for tuning in tonight. I'd like to thank the PDGA for everything that you guys are doing here at this PDGA 8-year event. I'd like to thank Discraft for putting on the event for all of these years. The volunteers, the staff, just so much effort is put in from so many different entities is the word I was trying to go for. Yeah, thank you guys so much. Thank you to Nate and Val from Bevel. Yeah, we've got a dedicated, our cameraman doubles as an official. Are you a sandbag at this point? Like a prop. He's like a physical, like a sandbag holding up the banner just so it doesn't fall on my head. So again, that's Rick Hushane, who slept in an airport just to show up today, just to be behind the camera so that you guys could watch disc golf. Seriously, that's how awesome Rick is. Mr. Disc Golf just posted the dates for the Pocono Raceway Experience 2017. Come on down. I'm guessing, not that I don't want to be there or don't love it, but I'm guessing DD will have that fully covered. We saw Bobby Brown last night. We talked to Jeremy Rusko, and I'm guessing that they're going to have that fully covered. I'd love to be there just to take it all in, but I think it conflicts with a weekend. That's what I had. I saw earlier is that it conflicts with a weekend that I'm doing something. At least from what I had heard. Did Terry just call Nate a bagger? No, I am actually talking about Rick Cushane, our cameraman from today. Slept in an airport, showed up, was on the camera all day, took a quick shower, came here, helped me set up along with Chad, and now is literally holding the backdrop so it doesn't fall on me. That's how amazing the support can be when we go out on the road sometimes. Thank you. Awesome, Terry. He's off all week and you'll be watching Kyle. Good to hear. Kyle, I'm not holding you any spots for the tournament. Make sure you sign up if you're going to play or want to play. Jeremy Rusko believes the Earth is flat. That's what I heard. What's up, guys? How you doing? Oh, look at this. I got some water coming in. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I'm going to try and get something to eat. I have not eaten today. I'm going to try and get something to eat shortly after this. I know. Do I really need it? Yeah, I do. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Quick drink on the air. I see a representation of Alaska in the house. I see Pete Ulibarri off in the... Anybody know what's going on over there? Putting details, anything?
They've narrowed it down to like 100 people.
Okay, so just 100 people are in the qualifier. 100 people are in the qualifying for the putting, and it doesn't look like I'm going to learn much more than that, unfortunately. We had a great night here tonight, again, over at Boulders on Southern, a sponsor of the event, and also, from what I've been told, completely sold out of the beer that was here and in place tonight. So if you want the beer, McFate's tomorrow night, Perch on Friday night, and Euro Cafe on Saturday. So come out, watch the coverage, and be part of it on Saturday at Fountain Hills, and then get yourself a calzone at Euro Pizza, and then pick up some of the beer while you're out there. Why doesn't Michael Joe come to this tournament? It's a long ways away, I think is a good one. They don't have long enough hair ties? I don't know. I'm not sure what that is, but Michael Joe doesn't travel to a lot of tournaments a really long distance away from the Carolinas. I believe he works a full-time job, and so we don't see him at a lot of the big tournaments that are a really long way away, I guess is the best way I could word that, from what I've seen. IPA, yes, the Circle's Edge is an IPA, to answer the question. I'm going to start wrapping things up here for you guys. And he prefers wooded courses. That's certainly a good answer. If you prefer a wooded course, you should not be at this event. That would be a good way to put that. Terry has a straw to drink and doesn't use it. Gangsta. That's a good way. Let's see, there's Josh from Broome, Patrick Brown. Take care, guys. Yes, I am gangster without the straw. MJ would just walk across there. Oh, we're down to 99 competitors in the putting. Again, last year I think I brought you some of the details for the putting. There's just no way to know what's going on over there. All right, so if you guys don't have any final questions or updates for me, karaoke. Little known fact. I'm gonna bust this out on everyone. Store this in your back pocket for another broadcast. The first time I have ever karaoke'd in my life, believe it or not, was the 2008 Japan Open, and my co-singer was Val Jenkins. Literally the first time I'd ever karaoke'd up until that point. I believe Justin Timberlake was the song. Bringing Sexy Back was in fact it. Sometimes a little Asahi Super Dries go a long way when you're in Japan. So yes, little known fact. So store that one in your back pocket as a trivia that will sometime come up later. Again, 2008 Japan Open. There's a special dedicated room. The Japan Open is special for so many reasons. They have a specific room just built for people to do karaoke at. And a lot of our players, and I was a competitor that year, it's a really good time. So 2008, I think the second time I ever did karaoke in my life, 2 years later at the Japan Open 2010. So that tells you something about the Japan Open. All right, Will Schustrick. Will Schustrick was playing very well today. I'm going to recap a couple scores for you guys instead of me babbling about karaoke. I saw Will Schustrick. He is currently in a tie for 8th, just 2 strokes off the lead. I'll run down your top 10. Lizotte, Sexton, McMahon, all shooting 11 under today. Leviska, Philo Brathwaite, KJ Naibo, Ricky Wysocki, all at 10 under par. And rounding out 8th, the tie for 8th included Yale Storr, Will Schustrick, Ziggy Bjerkhoven, Dustin Keegan, Seppu Payu, and Gavin Rathbun. So there's your top 13 competitors. Pretty random number. I'll go to 20-ish. And give you tied for 14th is Devin Owen, Zach Melton, Jordan Castro, Nate Perkins, Austin Hannum. And then sitting in a tie for 20th is Paul Macbeth, David Felberg, and Drew Gibson. So check it all out, udisclive.com. It's got all the stats, all the scores, all the details. It's crazy to see that Simon Lizotte today had just 3 holes that weren't a par or a bogey. So he had, in fact, 2 bogeys, 3 pars, and the rest were birdies. How many ever that equals? Probably 13? 13 birdies. So very exciting, very cool to see. I think I hear Steve Dodge off in a distance. All right, guys, I think we're going to start wrapping things up. I'm going to try and double check anything else on the board. Were you drinking that night, Terry? Of course I was not, if you're talking about the Japan Open. How did Kat get an 8 on the back 9 today? Kat, from what I heard, I think if you check the UDIS scoring, you could probably see it as well. I had asked, because I saw the score, I wondered if there was possibly an incorrect entry, because no one would ever expect that from her, but it sounded as if she drove it somewhere near the basket. I don't know if it was within 20, 30, 40 feet, somewhere within putting range. She missed, and then it sounded as if she had just missed kind of back and forth and back and forth. I heard her putt for 6 had hit the tray, putt for 7, hit the tray at least and had fallen down, tap in for the 8. But it sounded as if, the short answer I got from someone, and please, I hope it's right, someone just basically said she 7-putted, just back and forth. The basket is elevated. It's in fact taller than her or I. The basket is up higher. It's a relatively short hole, right around 300 feet, slightly uphill, but then it sits, not only is the basket itself elevated, but then it also sits on a hillside, on a slight mound. And so it's even further elevated. And again, back and forth a couple times, and that's how you arrive at an 8. I would never in a million years expect to see or hear from that again, but a 7-putt is what we had heard. Get out of here, Terry. Go have fun and sleep, says Trevor. Thank you so much. The tall basket and makes that much more believable. Yes, we all love Kat, and nobody ever wants to see anything like that happen. Just unfortunate and back and forth. I had heard the other two or three card mates of hers had laid up. You'll be able to see it on the footage tomorrow, but I had heard the other card mates had laid up under the basket. They took their 3s, and Kat had committed to the idea of making the putt. So back and forth a number of times. All right. Johnny V said they close at midnight, not 8 a.m. That is correct. Closing the fantasy disc golf last night. So for everyone here, go out and watch that smash cut. Looks like people are consuming it right now. We'd love to know what you think of it. The shortened version, so that if you want it instantly and you want just the absolute raw essentials from the tournament, that gives you that 3-hour and 11-minute round down to 40 minutes today. Please let us know what you think of that. So for everyone here on the crew tonight, for Rick literally holding up the stage, for Chad for helping with setup, for Johnny V, for Gary O, for Steve Dodge, for Keith Murray, the entire staff here at the Memorial Championships presented by Discraft, for Val, Nate, and IMAC all stepping in tonight to give us their insights and all of their updates. We appreciate it. We'll see you guys tomorrow during the day. We're going to bring you the live coverage, of course, and then I believe I'll be over at McFate's, another brewery and bar and grill. I'll see if the beer is different tomorrow or something. I'll have to try it. I feel like I'm obligated to do so. We'll see you guys tomorrow night for another nightly recap, which will have the option for a title sponsor or two to get your name and your business out there. Have a great night. We'll see you then. Until then, I need a log off. I can't say Smashbox. I can't say Keep on Dreaming. That one's taken. Hey, Simon. Keep on Smiling. How about, I don't know, T-Dog out. Oh wait, I can't go out. That didn't work. It's supposed to be so good and clever, and it's not.